we're into another Cynthia Frulin article. She does great analytics and analysis. So we're looking at the top 10 offenses in the league projected with the win share rate, win projected rate, whatever. The number of calculated wins that they're scheduled to have by way of these improvements that they've made in the offseason. What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back for another analysis video. And I kid you not, that's my real name. No news today because we not getting into that shit. It's not a lot going on. So we're doing articles. I mean, like, one like this, you may not like it, you may. I hope you do. But anyways, we're going to get into it. So I think it's interesting, and this kind of thing makes for great content, and I'm able to go off on the Einstein level of genius because it's piques my interest. Anyways, NFL's top 10 offenses in 2023, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles produce highest win share projections. I had it right. See, my mind sometimes plays tricks on me. Anyways, let's get into it. No, Andy Reid. I still hate you for what you did in my franchise. Kansas City Chiefs projected win share rate of 8.7. So last year they lost Tyreek, and they added Juju Smith and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, also known as MVS. And they relied on the short passing game, and it, worked pretty good here, chiefly, pun intended, because they were able to have 12 TDs on passes of less 10 yards of airtime or less. And yeah, I mean, like, it just worked out excellently for them. Because, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a generational quarterback. He's able to play to whatever the defense, is giving him, but also play in any solid offense, Dink and dunk, kill you with 1,000 paper cuts, hit you over the top deep, like they did, when they had the best deep talent in the game right now in Tyreek Hill. Whatever you show him, he's going to have something to counter that. And that's just the type of quarterback he is. And, we've seen that, over the years, quite literally last year, and the previous year before that, juxtaposed to each other those seasons in their attacking style on defenses primarily. And Jared McKinnon had 10 touchdowns, I think, receiving last year, which is amazing on a running back. But, he was able to catch the ball in space, especially inside the 20, and make magic on his way to the end zone. So, I mean, the things that they're able to use, like, the new plays they're going to have this year, the alignments and the wrinkles, like they used in the Super Bowl to expose the Eagles defense by way of, Jonathan Gannon being asleep at the fucking wheel. Dumb motherfucker. They got departures, yeah. Mecole Hardman exited, and so did Juju Smith-Schuster. Tyreek Hill, he was gone since last season, so they, already made the adjustment, but now they have MVS still there, another year in the system, getting used to Patrick Mahomes. Kadarius Toney, another year. He only had like half a year last year after the trade from the Giants. Sky Moore, he's not going to be a rookie anymore. Going to be counted on for more than the 200, 300 receiving yards he had last year coming out of Western Michigan. And Rashid Rice, the rookie, who's not going to have to play, the hero role. He's going to be able to be an add-on, kind of similar to the Sky Moore role last year. So he's in a great position to be able to be productive when his number is called. And we have the legendary, the maybe future GOAT, Travis Kelce, heading that receiving group. He's a tight end, but he's their most experienced pass catcher and just an otherworldly talent in the way he runs routes, and is able to mind meld with his quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They added Jawan Taylor from the Jaguars to play right tackle, and brought in Donovan Smith late in the offseason. Got a steal to play left tackle coming from the Bucs. So they let Orlando Brown walk, but could be addition by subtraction because they also lost Wiley, who was a turnstile last season with 9 sacks suffered. But they're going to, I think, be better overall. Jawan Taylor's an excellent tackle. I think he couldn't play left tackle, but his more natural position. Better position for him is at right tackle. So keep Donovan at his more natural position. And therefore you have enhanced your blocking scheme. And we'll see what that Cynthia has that formula of protection adding to the win total, giving them that much more stability, and the more time they can buy, the more Patrick Mahomes can work that fucking magic. And I fucking hate him. All right. Anyways, we're gonna go to my team, the favorite team that I love, the only team that I love in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. Projected win share of 8.5. They have the offensive line let's see, ranks at first ahead of the average offensive line. Bigger margin with the offensive line has recorded at this point in May in at least 5 seasons. Okay, so they have a consistency, consistent rate of producing with the offensive line and graded out as number one overall over the past 5 years. So love that. It's a paragon of consistency. All pros and Pro Bowlers and Pro Bowl alternates smattered across that line all the way, except for the new, potentially new right guard Cam Jurgens, who's a backup center last year, but he'll be slated most likely to play at right guard while we wait for Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey to hang up the cleats. We'll see how long he goes. Somebody said if he loses again this year in the playoffs, he'll come back, or lose in postseason or whatever this year, he'll come back next year. So we'll see. But AJ Brown, he was a good deep threat last year. 7 deep TD receptions after logging 4 in his previous 3 seasons with the Titans. So he just unfurled him, unlocked him. He became Mr. Unlimited, what Russell Wilson should have been. But yeah, he got behind defenses with regularity, and was able to not only do that but catch the ball with intermediate routes and do devastating defenses in his wake. So DeAndre Swift and Rashard Penny, one being a pass catcher, was a good runner as well, and one being a bigger back but still nifty, who can pound the rock. Both of them have to stay healthy, but yeah, they can force defenses into having to account for them and put by way of doing that, put the defense in disadvantageous positions because also we have a running quarterback. Don't forget him, Jalen Hurts, who puts defenses in a conundrum, having to defend that run option, the read option. So let's keep it going, guys. All right. Anyways, Buffalo Bills projected win share of 8.2. They spread apart their O-line spreads apart more than other in the NFL. So it gives Josh Allen some lanes to run in, and he's a big guy, like 6'5", 6'6", 240, with very good speed. And he can pound the rock and substitute that run game. He shouldn't have to. We'll see this year. I forgot who they brought in at running back. They let the smaller Devin Singletary go. He signed for the Texans. Somewhere, I think definitely somewhere in the AFC. But they brought in Connor McGovern from the Cowboys, and getting Osiris Torrance as a steal in the second round from out of Florida. So they're committed to creating that space in the interior again. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. They run play actions, and they're very effective. And they also got that the tight end Dalton Kincaid, seen as a first round talent, within the second round, and they use that 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back to be multiple, and have the defense guessing when they're running the passing and make it play action more effective, and also be able to run out of the formation because one of those guys, or both of them, Knox Kincaid. Knox, the tight end, will be counted on to block as well. As will Dalton Kincaid some, so he's seen as more of a full-time dual threat tight end. So we'll see how that goes. Cincinnati Bengals projected with a win share rate of 8.0. He has the highest. Joe Burrow has the highest projected win share number of any QB. Wow, he has those that triplets at at receiver, Jamar Chase, who's also obviously the number 1, T. Higgins, who's the number 2, and then Tyler Boyd, who's in the slot. And all of them have been 1,000-yard receivers. I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins last year, Tyler Boyd in the past, but he's a hell of a weapon to be used out of the slot. And I don't know, T. Higgins is so fucking tall. He's like 6'5" or 6'6", crazy. But I added Orlando Brown and Irv Smith, and that pushes them to 0.001 wins past the Cowboys at 7.9. And they have some worries on defense, but they're counting on the offense to be high octane and to keep keep what's going working there. They obviously had a highly productive offense, and they're gonna lean on that. Similar to the Eagles. I don't know how bad the defense is. I know they lost some pieces, chiefly being the safety, um, Jesse Bates. Yeah, I forget where he went, but anyways, yeah. No, you got paid in offseason. I know that. Dallas Cowboys projected win share rate of 7.9, and yeah, they brought in guys like Brandon Cooks, Ronald Jones, the backup, and rookie tight end Luke Schumacher, who they didn't want. They wanted Dante Kincaid, I think, but he went to. I mean, the Bills jumped him. I think, yeah, sorry, he maybe did go in the first round, but they have exiting Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, and Noah Brown, and two out of those three guys are obviously marketably better, and a good running mate for CeeDee Lamb with Brandon Cooks, who doesn't produce 1,000-yard seasons when he's healthy, but I don't know if he still has that cachet. But he's definitely a vast improvement over Noah Brown, and with Michael Gallup running in the format coming off of that ACL injury last year, he will surely be productive, and by way of that, make also the slot guy most likely slated to be Michael Gallup better as well. But yeah, they produced the most points. I mean, I don't trust this stat because I think they had a lot of garbage teams on the schedule. After week 7 last year, they had the highest points per game. After Dak Prescott missed 5 games because of that some injury, 32.5. But I think they can be a top 5 offense most definitely. Have to see how it goes, but also could they be a top 5 defense? That unit is not slacker. They have some talent on there, chiefly being Michael Parsons, D-Law, Tank Lawrence on that D line, that defensive end, Monty Smith, the D tackle they just got, as well as some other guys in the interior. The back end, the secondary played very well last year. They're gonna play some three safety sets with the guys that they have. So, I mean, yeah, it's they're the number 2 team projected in the NFC East for a reason, man. They are pretty talented. All right, let's get to the San Francisco 49ers projected win share rate of 7.8. Christian McCaffrey didn't join until late October. Yeah, and Brock Purdy, his receivers averaged 2.7 yards separation downfield on passes last year. So, I mean, that's great. That's elite number. Anything around 2, is pretty good. 1.5 is probably like average, but yeah, they're known as yak guys. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, yak monster. George Kittle, yak monster. Debo Samuel's yak guy, and he can rush the ball. Even though I wouldn't want to put my receiver at make him that vulnerable. But if it multiplies the offense, you can make a case for it. But then it also had some losses, chiefly like Sam Ebukam at DN and Al Shazier at linebacker. We'll see how they mitigate those, but they still have Fred Warner, all world linebacker in the middle, as well as several guys in that secondary, and Nick Bosa there at the end. So, and they brought over Javon Hargrave, so that's a great addition. See how they fare, but the offense is the threat of having them play as an average team. But the defense is going to be stable, even with the loss of the defensive coordinator who took the head coaching job in Houston, one DeMeco Ryans. All right, let's move on to the Seattle Seahawks. Projected win share rate of 7.5. Yeah, those tackles, man. Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas, who started as rookies, have another year experience. If they can stay healthy and continue to build upon that experience that great experience that they got being thrown into the fire last year, going against teams starting DNs. Yeah, that would be great. That'd be ideal. And had picked up the draft's best route runner in Jackson Smith and Jigba, who I thought he's a decent athlete, but pretty good receiver when he showed in 2021. 2022 he was hurt, hamstring injury. He had probably a career low in receiving, but if he can stay healthy, we'll see what they can produce. They also have DK Metcalf on the outside, and Tyler Lockett, who's good in the slot, but also outside as well. And they picked up Zach Charbonnet to pair with the Alabama running back last year who went off. Just played excellent for them. So I was surprised they picked up Seth Sharp ain't that high, but it gives them a 1-2 duo that's dynamic, and he can be a great third down back. He's actually who I wanted the Eagles to pick up if we had a chance, but he went way too early in the second round, and we didn't even have a second round pick because we traded ours to the to have 2 third-round picks back to back with Tyler Steen and one Sidney Brown at safety. So like I said, the yards. So he had Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Did he shine because of them, or did they shine because of him? So we shall see this year. But that trio of receivers gives Geno Smith great weapons, and even though he had a career year last year, can he reproduce that? That win share rate will drop, or stay about the same, depending upon how he plays. All right, let's get to the Baltimore Ravens. Projected win share rate of 7.3. They want to throw the ball more this year, so new offensive coordinator Todd Monken. We'll see. They were able to bring Lamar Jackson back in the building. He's now the highest paid quarterback with $52 million year average, and they also added in Odell Beckham Jr., who's finally healthy, and not as explosive as he was in 2014 when he was catching balls one-handed, but he's still a pretty talented guy, and we'll see if he can push for 1,000 yards. But even if he doesn't, he could be highly effective. Taking a year off, getting the ACL that he didn't have, and now that knee is strengthened, and he's back to the playing speed, hopefully. But great addition with Zay Flowers coming out of Boston College, the guy who runs excellent routes. And that running back stable, they get back healthy. J.K. Dobbins and the guys behind him. They need them to play alongside behind Lamar Jackson to give them a balance on offense. But Mark Andrews, the veteran tight end, is still there, and I think they also made some other additions. So 23.8 points a game. When Jackson played, 13.7, including the playoffs when he didn't. So even though they have a stable, a good quarterback backup in Huntley, they really need Lamar back there in the backfield at the helm. So they live and die by him. So hopefully he can stay healthy. All right, the Los Angeles Chargers, still feels weird saying that. Projected win share rate of 7.2. So they brought in Kellen Moore from the Dallas Cowboys. An underrated signing. I mean, the guy is productive when he has the talent, and he's not being stifled by Jerry Jones. Putting his foot in the mix, he's the GM even when he shouldn't be. Just stick to being an owner, but that's a whole other set of issues, and he's a head case. Not just a head case, but he's a egomaniac. But anyways, they used the 21st overall pick on Quentin Johnson, who he has a field stretcher, has a big body, 6'3". Doesn't play up to the speed that he showcased. Played looked like he played faster on film or ran faster. Should ran faster, but also his hands are inconsistent, so he needs to hit the jump machine and the offseason get himself up to par before the season begins. And Mike Williams, who was hurt, but can he stay healthy? Keenan Allen also has some bouts with health, as did Austin Eckler. And but that's a pretty good receiving core / running back stable. And Austin Eckler is adding like 500, 600 yards, a handful of TDs from coming out of the backfield catching the ball as well. So gives great weapons for Justin Herbert. So you can say classically, it fell apart in the playoffs against the Jaguars. They let those guys come back after picking off Trevor Lawrence 5 times. You let this man come back and beat you by a point with the field goal. Like it was just magical. They were just destined to win that game. But they, the Chargers just collapsed. They ran out of juice. Recharge the battery. But Justin Herbert completed just 33.3% of passes on 20 plus air yards. So 13th lowest amongst players. So not awful, but needs to improve with him having such a strong arm. Those guys need to get better separation. Can they use Justin as bait, as a threat? A guy like a Deshaun, in a mold of a Deshaun Jackson to open up the offense. That might make all the world difference. They didn't have anybody. Mike Williams isn't threatening anybody like that on the edge. Keenan Allen, he's a route master, but not gonna threaten you with his speed. Anyways, to get to the team that kind of surprises here, but kind of not because they add this guy. The New York Jets projected win share 7.1. Yeah, they're extremely close with the Dolphins, and Vikings. But the difference here is Aaron Bleepin Rodgers, the guy. I mean, he pushes them past the threshold. He makes the O-line better, makes the receivers better, makes the running backs better, gives the defense extra incentive, and also potentially makes them better by keeping them off the field when they don't need to be, putting points on the board and giving them a loaded deck to play with as far as playing with the lead. They can pin their ears back and yeah. So I mean, multiple categories. He improves the team just by being there, but by nature of him being who he is. So damn, over the past 5 seasons, no QB has helped his O-line more than Rodgers. Great, man. He gets the ball out of there quick when he has protection. Yeah, he was getting shocked by the defense, not because they have like Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner. I mean, those guys change the dynamic and they play in tandem, in unison with each other. So Quentin Williams getting there quick allows Sauce Gardner to cover the guy and not have to worry about eliminate certain routes, play stickier, jam more. So I mean, like it goes hand in hand. No pun intended. But Breece Hall, we'll see if he can recover, man. He was a monster last year before that midseason injury ACL. Yeah, man, I'd love to see him. Like he was a steal in the draft last year. I think it was a 2nd-round pick coming out of like a lower quality school, but he had the goods. So, anyways, those are our 10 teams. I hope I gave you a good overhaul. I don't know everything, but I do know a great amount, relatively speaking. I love football, so anyways, it's all good because I know you're not even watching the video at this point. You're not even watching though, but it's all good because as always, it's fly Eagles fly and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, subscribe Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.